Okay, let's dive in. We've all been there, right? Yeah. That feeling, that pit in your stomach when you check your bank balance,
Mm-hmm.
and it's way lower than you thought,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even single digits. And then ping, you get that email saying your free trial is about to expire.
Ugh, yeah. The timing's always perfect, isn't it? And sometimes, it's much bigger than a forgotten subscription. Life throws curveballs.
Totally.
Big ones, like huge medical bills out of nowhere, or suddenly losing your job, or maybe your relationship ends and there's, well, shared debt to untangle. It can feel like you're drowning.
Exactly. And that's what we're tackling today, how you actually get back to the surface after a financial disaster like that.
Right.
But without, resorting to extreme measures like selling vital organs or pinning all your hopes on a lottery win.
Probably wise.
We found this really interesting article. It's practical steps you can actually take, but it also has this surprisingly humorous take on it all.
Yeah, which is refreshing, actually, because when you're in that situation feeling overwhelmed, the last thing you need is, like, complicated, vague advice.
Definitely.
This source really breaks it down. Actionable stuff. So our mission here is basically to pull out the absolute must-do steps to help you, get your feet back under you.
Because if you're listening, maybe you're feeling that weight right now, that financial stress. Maybe asking yourself, how did I get here? Or the bigger one, how do I fix this?
Mm-hmm.
We're not about pretending it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
We want to offer a clear path, something encouraging without making you feel, even more buried.
Yeah.
So where do we start? What's step one on this climb back?
Okay, step one. And it sounds maybe too simple, but it's crucial. It's acceptance.
Right.
Just acknowledging the reality of the situation. The article really hammers this home. You can't solve a problem if you're kind of pretending it doesn't exist.
Yeah, denial isn't exactly a winning financial strategy, is it? You can't just wish away the debt or hope the bills pay themselves. You got to own it.
Exactly. And the article frames that owning it part really well. It's like, okay, this is the situation, but, and this is important, this doesn't make me a failure.
Oh, that's huge.
It really is. Hitting a financial rough patch, whatever the reason, doesn't mean you're bad at life. It happens. It's a human thing.
Yeah, because that feeling of shame can just creep in so easily, can it?
Totally.
But the article has this pro tip I really like, actually writing down what caused the setback and what the consequences are. Not to wallow in it or beat yourself up, but more like creating your own post-disaster report, they call it, for learning.
Exactly. It's about understanding. Was it, maybe some spending habits? Was it a genuine emergency you couldn't avoid? Was it losing your job because the economy tanked?
Right.
It's not about blame. It's about figuring out, okay, what can I learn from this? What patterns maybe need to change? It's constructive.
Okay, so we've faced it. We've acknowledged the mess. What's next?
Yeah.
Sounds like we need to get a clearer picture of the actual damage.
You got it. Step 2 is basically clean up the mess. Time to get really clear on the details.
Which involves that super fun task of listing out every single debt, every single bill, rent, utilities, credit cards.
Everything.
Even that emergency pizza you ordered late last night.
Yep, put it on the list. And another big piece of this step, check your credit report. You can usually get a free one.
Right, that's important. It shows your borrowing history, basically.
Exactly. It gives you a snapshot, helps you see if there are any errors, and shows you what creditors are seeing. It's baseline info for rebuilding.
Okay, and then the part that makes people nervous?
Yeah.
Calling the creditors?
Yeah, that can definitely feel intimidating. But the article actually offers a bit of hope here.
Oh.
It points out that, look, these companies, they'd often rather work out some kind of payment plan with you than have you just disappear and they get nothing.
Huh. That makes sense.
You might actually be surprised. If you call them before things get really bad, explain you're struggling but you want to pay, they can sometimes be flexible.
That's actually pretty empowering. Taking the initiative.
It is.
And I like the article's bonus tip. Don't ghost your bills. They'll just haunt you harder, probably with extra fees.
Exactly. Ignoring it just makes it worse. So clear communication helps.
Okay. So we've listed everything, checked the report, started maybe talking to creditors. What's step 3?
Step 3 is shifting gears. The article calls it activating rebuild mode.
Rebuild mode. I like the sound of that. Like you're taking charge now. It mentions channeling your interaction hero.
Right. Time to get proactive. And the first part of this rebuild, brace yourself. It's emergency budget mode.
Ah.
Or, as they jokingly call it, the ramen budget.
Okay, so we're talking serious belt tightening here, like absolute bare minimum.
Pretty much. The article's specific. Housing, essential utilities, basic transport.
Right.
To get to work and basic food.
And they specifically mention no daily fancy coffee, right?
They do indeed. That latte habit, paused, and of course making minimum payments on debts. That's it.
So cutting out all the extras, Netflix, gym memberships you're not using, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. It's temporary financial survival mode. The goal is to free up every possible penny. It actually can feel kind of good in a weird way, like you're taking control.
I can see that.
But you need to communicate this if you share finances. Get everyone on board.
Good point. And the other key part of rebuild mode is tracking. Tracking every single dollar.
Yes. Use an app, a notebook, grandma's envelope system, whatever works for you. The method doesn't matter as much as just doing it consistently.
Because you need to know where the money's actually going, right?
Precisely. You can't manage what you don't measure. It often highlights things you didn't even realize you were spending money on. Little leaks in the boat.
Okay, so budget tightened, tracking in place. But like the article says, just cutting back might not be enough if the hole is deep. Step 4 is about bringing more money in.
Yes. Income boosting time. Budgeting is one side of the coin, earning more is the other.
And the article suggests getting creative here. Side hustles.
Totally. Think about skills you have. Can you do deliveries? Freelance writing? Tutoring? Maybe design stuff online?
Or just selling things you don't need anymore. That old phone in the drawer. Clothes. That guitar you never learned to play.
Exactly. Declutter and earn cash. Win-win. And the article stresses being open to different kinds of work, part-time, temporary gigs, whatever comes your way.
Yeah, it says something like pride doesn't pay the bills.
Pretty much. Just got to focus on bringing in income.
And it points out even a little extra makes a difference, like an extra $100 a week. That can be huge when things are tight.
Absolutely. It creates breathing room, reduces that constant pressure. Okay, so now you potentially have a bit more cash flow, either from cutting back or earning more. What do you do with it? That brings us to step 5, debt triage.
Playing financial paramedic, as the article puts it, prioritizing, because not all debt is the same.
Right, exactly. You got to figure out what needs the most urgent attention. Generally, high interest debt, like credit cards, that's usually target number 1.
Because the interest just keeps piling up, making it harder.
Right. It can snowball fast. Then you've got your essentials, rent, utilities. You have to keep those current.
That's how they say.
And then things like lower interest loans, maybe federal student loans. Often you can just pay the minimum on those while you tackle the high interest stuff more aggressively.
And the article mentions the 2 common strategies, the snowball and the avalanche.
Yep. Snowball. Pay off smallest debts first for quick wins. Boost motivation. Avalanche. Tackle highest interest rate debts first, saves more money long term.
So which one's better?
You know, the article makes a great point. The best method is the one you'll actually stick with. It says either way, start somewhere. Forward is forward. Just pick one and go. Action is key.
Okay, that makes sense. Consistency over perfection. Right, so we're tackling debt. But then step 6 throws a bit of a curveball. Build a small emergency fund before going all out on debt.
Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? Like, shouldn't every spare cent go to debt?
That's what I'd think.
But here's the logic. Having even a small cushion, say $100, $200, maybe $500 if you can manage it, stops you from reaching for the credit card again when a small, unexpected thing happens.
Okay. Like a flat tire. Or the cat suddenly needing the vet.
Exactly. Those little life things that always seem to pop up. This mini fund covers those without derailing your debt progress or adding more high-interest debt.
And it's for true emergencies, right? The article was clear. Friday night pizza doesn't count.
Definitely not pizza money. Keep it separate, maybe in a different savings account. Mentally fence it off. It's purely for those unexpected, unavoidable hiccups. It buys peace of mind.
Got it. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. Now, we've talked a lot about the numbers, the mechanics, but step 7 dives into something else, healing your relationship with money, the emotional side.
And this is so, so important. Financial trouble isn't just about spreadsheets. It messes with your head.
Totally. Shame, anxiety.
Oh, yeah. Feeling hopeless sometimes.
Yeah.
The article really stresses that money is just a tool. Your bank balance doesn't define your worth as a human being.
I like that line. You're not bad at life because you're broke.
It's powerful, isn't it? Needs repeating. And the article suggests ways to work on this emotional piece, like maybe keeping a money journal, not just tracking spending, but tracking your feelings about money.
Interesting.
Or listening to personal finance podcasts, reading books they mention, the psychology of money, or finding online communities where people talk openly about this stuff.
So connecting with others, learning. demystifying it a bit.
Exactly. Breaking the taboo, talking about money, laughing about it sometimes, crying about it sometimes. Just not burying those feelings. It's crucial for truly recovering.
Right. Okay, so we're working on the practical stuff and the emotional stuff. What about looking ahead? Step 8 is about creating a real comeback plan, right? Moving beyond just survival mode.
Yeah, this is where you shift from just putting up fires to actually building something solid for the future. Your financial glow up, as the article cheekily calls it.
Love that. And this involves the basics of good financial hygiene, doesn't it? Like a proper monthly budget you can actually live with long term.
Definitely. And a clear plan for how you're going to pay off the rest of that debt.
Yeah.
Setting a savings goal, even if it starts small, like $10 a month. Just building the habit and checking your credit score regularly, maybe every few months, to see the progress. That can be really motivating.
And rewarding yourself. The article mentions celebrating milestones, but like inexpensively.
Yeah, not blowing the budget, obviously, but acknowledging progress. A movie night at home, a picnic, something small that feels good. It keeps you going.
I like the idea of making the plan visual, too. Charts, checklists, stickers even. Makes it feel more real.
Whatever works. Seeing progress visually can be a huge boost.
Yeah.
And that leads nicely into the bonus tip the article includes.
Yes, the power of laughter.
Right. Finding the humor in the situation. Because let's face it, some of the things you do when you're broke can be, well, kind of absurd.
Like going from ordering fancy takeout multiple times a week to suddenly becoming a connoisseur of instant ramen.
Exactly. Or figuring out how to get every last drop out of the shampoo bottle. Being able to laugh at that stuff, maybe share those broke moments with friends who get it. It helps. It's a coping mechanism.
It totally is. It changes the narrative a bit, doesn't it? From I'm failing to, okay, this is a weird adventure I'm on right now.
Precisely. And the article suggests sharing your story, the ups and downs, maybe even the funny bits. It can help other people feel less alone in their own struggles.
Yeah, definitely. So as we wrap this up,
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway for you from digging into this?
For me, it's the blend of practicality and empathy. It gives you concrete steps, but it also constantly reinforces that this isn't a moral failing.
Right.
It acknowledges the emotional difficulty while providing a clear, actionable path out. And the humor helps make it feel less daunting.
Yeah, I agree. It feels hopeful, but grounded. It's not selling a fantasy. It's a realistic guide to getting back on your feet step by step. And that reminder that you are not alone in this. It happens.
It really does. And remember what the article emphasized. Financial disasters are temporary. They don't define you. You are not your overdraft. You are not your unpaid bill.
Such a good reminder. And think about it getting through this. You build serious skills. Resilience, financial literacy, resourcefulness. That's powerful stuff.
Absolutely. Skills for life, learn the hard way maybe, but valuable nonetheless.
So if you're listening and you're in that tough spot, just take one step. Maybe it's making that list. Maybe it's just admitting the situation to yourself without judgment. That first move, it makes all the difference.
It really does. Start somewhere.
Definitely. And maybe one last thing to leave you thinking about, something the article touched on. The comeback story is always way more interesting than the fall.